On previous episodes of Muscle Car of the Week, we featured the quickest cars of 1969 and 1970. And we got such a great response, we thought we would do it again, but this time we're taking a look at the quickest cars of 1971. Now, just like in the videos we did before, we didn't go out and actually run all these cars down the drag strip ourselves. We're relying on actual published quarter mile times from those magazines back in 1971. And sure, over the years, we've heard lots and lots of stories about how those numbers are wrong, how if you put better tires on them and do a better tune-up and different altitude and different driver, a lot of these cars went much faster than what was published back in 71. But that's the info we had to go on, so we thought it'd be kind of fun to do it this way. So let's take a look at the top 10 quickest muscle cars of 1971. So kicking off our top 10, a 1971 Plymouth Duster 340 car. This was a 3-speed automatic, and our friends at Super Street Cars magazine ran this thing to a 1426 at 98.3 miles per hour. That 71 340 made 275 horsepower, and I bet would click those times off over and over and over again. Super reliable car.
And a very special Duster 340. Duster moves you.
Plymouth's gonna get you. Gotcha.
In the number 10 slot, a 71 Duster 340. In the number 9 spot, that Duster's cousin, a 1971 Plymouth Cuda, also with the 275 horse 340. Except this car is a little bit lighter. It had a 355 rear gear and a 4-speed manual transmission.
71 Barracuda, lean and tough, the way a sports car should be.
And the January 71 Hot Rod magazine reported 14.18 at just over 100 miles per hour. So Plymouth 340s in number 10 and number 9.
Introducing the Hemi Chevy, the new Chevelle that's heavy on looks. The only thing that isn't heavy is the price.
The number 8 slot sees the first appearance of Chevrolet on our top 10 for 71 with the 71 SS454 Chevelle. For 71, the 454 made 365 horsepower, still made a ton of torque. In this case, they ran a 3-speed automatic car with a 410 rear gear to a 14.0 at 100 miles per hour. The only caveat here is it was on a good tire, I think a drag slick, but you can read all about that in the January 1971 Carcraft magazine. Ford shows up to the party in the number 7 slot and our quickest of 1971 muscle cars with the 71 Mustang.
Holy smoke! Hey, Cabello, that's European road car.
No, sir, this is our new Mustang Mach 1, one of 6 completely new models for 71.
The Mach 1 with a 429 Cobra jet. This was rated at 370 horsepower. The February 1971 Superstock magazine clocked this thing at 1397 and a quarter at 100.22 miles an hour. Big car, big engine, but a pretty quick time. Now remember how Plymouth owned the number 10 and number 9 slot in this countdown? Well, interestingly, the Ford Mustang gets number 7 and number 6. Except the number 6 slot is that Mach 1 429's little brother, the Boss 351. So the smaller engine car was actually faster than the bigger engine car. The Boss 351 had a 391 rear gear and it ran the quarter mile in 1380 at 104 miles per hour, according to the February 1971 Car and Driver magazine. On a side note, you can learn all about that Boss 351 in the Muscle Car of the Week coverage from the Muscle Car and Corvette National Show, where they had a whole corral of Boss 351s on display. And you can also learn all about the big Mach 1 with the 429 in a previous episode of Muscle Car of the Week. The legendary Chrysler Hemi makes its first appearance in our top 10 in the number 5 slot. This time, our friends at Motor Trend magazine clocked a 1971 Hemi Charger Super Bee to a 1373 at 104 miles per hour. This is the first year for the new Charger body style. We've shown a bunch of them on Muscle Car of the Week with the 426 Hemi. I advise you check those out because there's a lot of great stories behind those cars. And that Charger Super B with the Hemi, great to see that one at number 5 in the top 10 of 71.
71 Barracuda, torsion bar suspension. It handles. Power up to a 446 pack. It goes. Plymouth Barracuda.
Plymouth comes back in our number 4 slot with the 1971 Plymouth Cuda. This one with a 440 and a 3-speed automatic, 410 rear gear. Superstock magazine clocked one of these cars at 1372 at 106 miles per hour. It's often a hot topic on which is faster, the 440 or the 426 Hemi, but in this case, the 440 is our number 4 in our top 10. Interestingly, the number 3 spot was just as fast. A 1971 Chevrolet Corvette, this time with the 454 cubic inch V8, big block under the hood, made 425 horsepower even in 1971, and clicked off the quarter mile in 1372 at 102.04 miles per hour. So the same 1372 goes for the number 4 440 Cuda and the number 3 454 Corvette. You can look up both those cars in previous episodes of Muscle Car of the Week. Our number 2 spot in the top 10 of 1971 goes
1971 Roadrunner.
to the Plymouth Roadrunner. In this case, powered by a 440 cubic inch engine, it made 390 horsepower. This example ran a 3-speed automatic and a 410 rear gear. And it clicked off a 1371 at 101.2 miles per hour, as documented in the January 1971 Carcraft magazine. Of course, Roadrunners are widely known to be big cars, but pretty lightweight. They didn't have a lot of options, so they were designed to be economical, and as soon as you stuff that 440 in one, they go really fast, and they had great reliability. They could drag race all day long. And if you want to spend a little time in the archives, we featured many different Roadrunners over the years on Muscle Car of the Week. And finally, our number 1 quickest magazine-published quarter-mile muscle car time of 1971. Trans Am fans will be excited because our number 1 is the 71 Pontiac Trans Am 455 HO. Supercar Annual magazine clocked the 335 horsepower 71 455 HO Trans Am to a 1370 at 104 miles per hour. Awesome car, underrated engine. We also have featured several 455 HO Trans Ams in previous episodes of Muscle Car of the Week. So what do you think about our little quickest of 1971 recap? Post your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure people have stories and they want to argue and challenge these numbers. Let's hear what you have to say. And if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe to Muscle Car of the Week, where we always try to provide cool, accurate, and sometimes controversial videos about awesome muscle cars. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.